Hi, good morning. Well, I guess it's not good morning everywhere, but good morning from where I am. My name is Vince Meldrum. I'm the CEO of EarthForce, and I have the great pleasure this morning of being the guest host for The World We Want, the NAAEE podcast, here during the NAAEE conference. So I'm super excited about that. But I'm really excited that I get to introduce you all, and myself for that matter, to Nasrin Siddiqa. And Nazreen, I've just done a little bit of research about you, but wow is all I have to say. You're an educator, you're a researcher, you've started nonprofit organizations. You were an EE 30 under 30 fellow, you worked with the Brookings Institute, you've worked with a bunch of groups like Voices Global Partnerships, where you've been a fellow, and other organizations, and just places, so many things. I thought if I do a full bio read for Nazreen, that'll be the entire 30 minutes. And so I don't think I'll be able to do that. But welcome. We're super excited. And I would love to have you just, first of all, tell us about ECS and your title there, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much, Vince. That yes, what you said that I'm working with the different organizations. Brookings, I worked with World Bank and my NGO, ECS Education and Cultural Society. But the most important thing, I'm working with the grassroots community. Actually, I am making the bridge with the community people, with the policymaker, making the bridge with the rural community, ethnic community, with the rest part of the world. So I'm trying to do this connection from my little knowledge, experience, and from my education, as I found that just if we can spark some knowledge and if we can spread our education among them, they can do some miracle. So ECS Education and Cultural Society, I founded this NGO in 2010. I'm the founder and executive director, but my experience is long. For the last 25 years, I'm working as an educationalist and as well as the researcher, development practitioner. Uh,
Yeah, as I was reading the stuff, I found that you and I have well, a lot in common, but one thing in particular in common is that our interest in rural communities, and what the kind of, you call it the grassroots, but what the people perhaps out of the reach of the normal, urban kind of programs that we see, where we're trying to reach the density of population, but there's actually, a lot of people that live outside of those cities. And I love that kind of urban focus that you bring to things. And you had mentioned just as for a second before we got on this that you are actually wearing some artifacts
yes.
as part of your outfit. Do you want to talk about that for a sec?
Yes, definitely. I would love to. That these are the products actually made by our young people. I mean, we have some learning center named Chonaki, Journey of Noble and Kind Initiative. So we have made this learning center in different parts of Bangladesh. So there, in the time of COVID, we found that the children are struggling a lot. We could not go to our learning center. We could not support the community people. Then we started collecting the clothes and other things to support this community people, to our children actually. And finally, we found that we were used to saying that nothing is waste for a long, long time. But now we are using the term waste is wealth. After COVID, we found that if we utilize this thing, we can turn it to wealth. So that what you said about my jewelry, you can see that the earring, you can see that bangles, all are made from the torn cloth, from reused material. So what we did actually, we had organized some training for the teachers, for the young women, for the entrepreneur, and many of them are the school going children, as most of them are girls. So now they have that training. They are making the products from waste. And I would love to show you some that we just say that stop throwing, so that people use this as a teapot, as a card pot. But after that, our children are decorating it and making it and using it as showpiece. In the same way that don't throw the paper roll or the toilet tissue roll or something. So make it like this, that the pen stand. So what is the purpose of this? Suppose if I show you a product like this, so they gave me gift in my birthday, so that you love to see that the cost is around $1. So if we sell, and now we are selling this to the community, we are showcasing it in different exhibition. We have some small showcase in our learning center, and now if they can sell it in $1, but by selling 3 to 4 products, we can confirm 1 month tuition fee of our children.
Wow. It's amazing. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing, that work. We should say, and I don't know that I said this because I was so overwhelmed with all of your credentials. You work in Bangladesh. You've been there for, I believe you're from Bangladesh, right? And you
Yes.
work with rural communities, particularly young women, around STEM skills for the last 20, 25 years.
25 years. Actually, 25 years I'm working personally, but I founded my NGO in 2010. For the last 15 years officially through this NGO. We are working for STEM education, environmental STEM education, entrepreneurship, community development, and literally we found 110 environmental STEM clubs in different school, college, and universities in different institutions, trained more than 10,000 STEM teachers, and could engage millions of students. And not only, I have to say that community people, students, and many of them, those who are not going to school, but we are including them through eSTEM for project-based learning, and learning never stop. We have 2 different projects. So we just believe that they have every right to continue with environmental STEM literacy, knowledge, and skill wherever they are. And we are continuing this project for the last 15 years, besides my research and other work. And we have different
Besides,
research
just
and
on the
field.
side of the
Yes,
research
yeah.
and the being a fellow and traveling the world and all that, on the side of that is this work in addition. Well, we're here to talk about your conference presentation, is what we're supposed to be doing. And the title of it is From Waste to Wealth, which
Yes,
we've been talking about a little bit already. But tell us about it's a bright spot, right? Tell us about the bright spot that you're doing.
yes, bright spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about more about what we're going to hear there. Are we going to hear more about what we were just learning about here?
Yeah. So as you were talking about the bright spot already, I went through other bright spot of this conference. Like just yesterday, I was watching that there is no way to democracy. Democracy is the way. So beside my bright spot, these bright spot are also very, very enriching, and I am just spreading it to my colleagues and different officers. And Robin, an intelligent bird, observation application. Really, I like the bright spot. And today, early, I'm waiting for mapping justice, youth-driven innovation toward environmental resiliency student panel of John Lee and Nick Okafor, and also understanding fear to hope, that is by Erin Sharp. So these are the sessions. I am actually eagerly waiting for this session, and I want to say something about my bright spot, that there,
Yeah, I would love that.
yes, yes, there I mentioned about 3 different for, just a second. I'm so
I
sorry.
know that music
Yeah.
from somewhere.
So, in the bright spot, I just mentioned that our initiative from waste to wealth, educating communities to rethink, reuse, rebuild. So, transform how communities think about waste, turning environmental challenges into learning and livelihood opportunities. So, our guiding philosophy from nothing is waste to wealth. So, actually, we are working for the children, and so what I said, that through Junaki children and women, so we are supporting women in entrepreneurship by traditions in tokens. So the jewelries I am wearing now is from that initiative, the traditions in token, as it is a community service business. And this West to Wealth initiative, so we have 3 different parts, that is West to Wow and Stop Throwing project, and third one is Waste Management Village by Women. So we could not reach to our learning centers children on that pandemic time, what I said, but we made a local chain to support them by learning Never Stop and skill-based learning project. So that critical moment actually taught us how we can reuse almost everything. We found children, especially young girls and women, have torn clothes. We started collecting old clothes. People, my friend, especially I can remember one of my friend Jasmine. She is staying in USA, Florida now, and she donated many clothes after the COVID. And then the young women and teachers of our enterprise and learning center started making new design dresses from that old one. From one of my party gown and one sari of my childhood friend's mom, they made wonderful baby frock, hairband. They used leftover stones, jewelries, lace to make it new. Then we planned that we have to give them training. So we just give them a professional training that how to maintain the health and hygiene for reusing it, and secondly how they can make it very lucrative and fancy as they can sell it in future, and the other people can use it. And we started saying don't throw. Our team collecting old diaries, papers, exercise book to make new one by binding their by binding where other children can write. And kitchen roll, toilet tissue roll, all are using to make pen stand, photo stand, ornament box, what I showed right now. That we collected plastic bottles and make a lamp, and then pot to grow plants. So clay pot are used for one time use teapot, and card that we are making it in as showpiece. We are using it as showpiece. And so now we are not limiting ourselves by making it only. What I said that we attend in fairs, exhibition, we have mini showcase in learning centers for visitors to buy their products. People come and buy these, and the money directly used to make their school uniform, buy books, school tuition fees, and transport costs. So my mission is from waste to wealth is about transforming how we think about waste, not as a problem, so but as a potential. So we teach communities to rethink, reuse, and rebuild, turning waste into opportunity. And in future, we have planned that we want to make a WTW, waste to wealth industry, which is not only environmental friendly but also inclusive. And interestingly, our learning centers children, they just say it WWF because of waste to wealth factory. And they say that why it is WWF? It's a wrestling, because it is very hard to say, change the people's mindset that don't throw. They even say that
Yeah,
sometimes people think it's my thing, I will throw it. And they say, don't throw, I can grow from here. I can
yeah.
grow something from here. So we are fighting against this mindset as
Nasrin, you used a phrase in there that I'm not familiar with, and I'm guessing other people online are not familiar with either, which is community service business.
yes.
Can you tell me more about what that is?
Yes, yes. Actually, that is also before COVID in 2017-18, we started community service business, and we supported around 100 women with small entrepreneurship and agro business, then mushroom farm. So it was growing very nicely, but during the time of COVID, it completely destroyed. We could not maintain it. So 100 women mean 100 family, near about 200 to 500 children are getting uh, food, shelter, education. So afterwards, we just thought that yes, as it was a very good initiative, we will never stop it. Then now, for the last 1 year again, we have started again that community service business. That is those with the 20 rural women. And the model of this business is they will grow their product, they will use that product for them, and they will sell it. And they will keep a portion, 10% profit centrally, so that they
Mm-hmm.
can grow their business and they can support other community children for education. That was our model. And now again, we restart that, and now with the 20 women, we are doing this community service business. They are young women, basically. And you know that many women, those who lose the job from the garment industry, factories, and who are divorced, who are very poor and suffering with some children. So they are migrant women as well as the ethnic women, disabled. We give emphasis for them. And at
Yep.
first, we support them through this business. But though it is in a small initiative now, but we hope that in future we can grow it again.
Yeah, so it sounds like a community service business
Yes,
is kind of like a social we would call it social entrepreneurship here,
kind of
or maybe a B Corp or something like that. It's a similar
similar
similar kind of
social
concept. Hey,
business. Yeah.
so I didn't ask you, when is your bright spot during the conference? Is it today?
Bright spot, actually, the video is showing. So if
Oh, it's
we,
already
yeah,
showing.
already. So already
I
my
knew I was
colleagues
misunderstanding
and
that.
learning and children that they are watching it.
Yeah,
Yes, it
that's
is. Bright
great.
spot is already, yeah.
So if they
This
just,
is not a
if
live
folks go
session.
into the
This is
conference,
recorded.
just
Yeah.
click on your name. They can look you up by your last name, and they can watch it whenever they want.
Sorry.
Uh, So people can watch it now or
Yes, yes,
anytime that
yes.
they want
Already
to.
they are
Yeah,
watching it. That
that's
is Kazi
excellent.
Siddiqa and West to Wealth, Rethink, Reuse, and Rebuild for Communities. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you something else. Something that is interesting to me and kind of close to my own heart is, as I mentioned, rural communities. Working with communities that are not cities and not perhaps not densely populated. And I noticed you do some of that as well, and some of your research is around that type of community. What led you to work in rural communities? Why pick that,
Mhm.
versus other places?
That's a great question. I have to go to my childhood. That my mother, though she passed away many years back when I was only 21 years old, actually, she was a silent community uh, revolution activist. So she just worked for the community girls, from the slum area girls, from village girls. And her motto was that she told me that whenever you will get the opportunity, though you are born and brought up in an urban community and got all facilities in good school, college, universities, but your duty will be to do something for the girls' education, as we did not get that opportunity to continue our education the way we want. So actually it struck in my mind, and when we went to USA in 2010 with my Fulbright scholarship under International Leaders in Education program, that was a program under US State Department. There I got some very, very good knowledge that one of the I mean one of the educationalists, she said, and she was one of the policymaker as well on that time. She said that, Nasrin, you will go back to Bangladesh. Then on that time, I was a school teacher of a very renowned English medium school. Afterwards, I became the school principal. I was the school principal for many years. So that was 10, 12 years a journey. And she said that you will go back to Bangladesh and you will work again in a fancy environment with AC and also with all facilities. Will you do that, or will you really try to do something to change the total education system transformation? And I said no. With this knowledge, definitely I will go back. I will introduce professional learning community, collaborative teaching. I will introduce STEM education, as my topic was STEM and environmental STEM. Then I came back and I founded my NGO ECS in 2010 with the support of your State Department, American Embassy, and with other donors. From then my journey started. And if you just know about me, that nowadays 24/7, most of the time I stay in rural village, ethnic community. I do like to work for them. I have learning center offices in different communities, and my family is getting bigger and bigger nowadays. So I literally stay in my urban home as a guest. And go to the village community. And just I came back day before yesterday from district Sherpur, where I did some work for Girls Agency and some family engagement research. So this is my journey. And when you will touch the heart of people, when you will do something for them, you will understand that what potentiality each and every person has. And they need support, they need help. So one day I was thinking that I was not feeling well, and I was thinking that if I die today, how many people will cry for me? I found literally highest 30, 40 people will may cry for me. Then I thought it was many years back. Then I thought that it is a meaningless life. So I have to do something that when I will leave this world, then many people will at least remember my name, that she did something and she had some contribution. Now, proudly, I can say all the children of my learning center, they will definitely remember me. So that number
Well,
is
hopefully they won't need to
thousands
cry
now.
anytime soon. Right. Hopefully that is not in the offing. That's amazing. It's just amazing to me how our childhood experiences and how our parents, leave such a strong imprint on us, and that they point us in a direction at all times. So my story about rural is similar, but I won't recount it, but it's tied in with my mother and where I grew up and all the same kind of things. So thank you for sharing that with us. I
Thank you.
really appreciate that. So we're supposed to, so that there's a question I'm supposed to ask you, which is, what is the world that you want? Since this podcast is called The World that we want, what is the world that you want, Nazreen?
Mm. That's a very, very important and good question, Vince. That yes, the world I want is one where every child's imagination is treated as a renewable resource. So I dream of a world where every child grows up knowing that his or her ideas can heal the planet. That STEM, creativity, and compassion are not separate paths, but a single force for good. It is not only for the privileged community, not for the high tech community, it is for all. And I want a world where West becomes wisdom, trust turns into treasure, and learning transforms into livelihoods. And where young people don't wait for opportunities, they create them, the way the Learning Center children are creating these products and using the materials and the hope already in their hands. So, in my world, women are the architect of green change, as I do work most for the girls and women. So, leading families, classrooms, and communities towards sustainability and dignity. The women are doing that. I want a world that listens to nature's voice. I want to see the nature child reunion again and learns from her rhythm, where every river, every leaf, every grain of soil reminds us that healing is possible when we live with purpose. So, this is the world I want, one built not on competition but on connection, a world that grows from care, courage, and collective action. So the last thing I have to say, that a world where education doesn't just prepare us to live, it teaches us how to build a planet worth living on. So that's the thing I'm thinking. And you know that this is a very fast growing world with AI, artificial intelligence, emerging technology, robotics, many, many things. And we have to keep this with by connecting with the nature. If we destroy the nature, nothing will work. We don't have another planet to stay. We can think that we will go to Mars, we will go here and there. We will never get this beautiful, wonderful green earth with green aurora. So I want a world where each and every children will be sensible for keeping this world green and beautiful.
That is wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Well, Desiree, it's been fantastic to get to know you for a minute, and get to ask you questions. So hopefully our paths will cross again. I would really love that. And I love the stuff that you're doing. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for joining us here on this podcast. And for those of you out there that are seeing this podcast, Nesreen's Bright Spot is available at any time. And her stories, if you haven't been moved by her stories today, you need to go to the doctor and check yourself because she's doing some absolutely amazing stuff. So thank you very much. And I think when we put this out, we'll also share your social media accounts and such so that people can get access to those as well if they want to know more about what you're doing. So thanks, Nazreen.
Thank
You're coming from Bangladesh, which I think if I understand time zones, you're actually coming to us from tomorrow.
Yes.
Um,
It is 8:55 night.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of the conference.
I will invite you to visit Bangladesh and you can see how amazingly they were working. And thank you so
Would
much for
love
your
that.
time, Yananaj.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Great.